Dr. Langford, Dr. Cook, the board members for letting me serve at Bruce Elementary. It's a great little place to be. So tonight, I'm gonna talk about some of our strengths and some of our challenges based on data from our last year's state test and based on benchmark data from this year. So if you look at the handout that I give you, I wanna talk about our strengths first. And yes, I'm gonna brag a little bit. Bruce Elementary has been an A for 4 years running, straight consecutively. I'm very proud of that. It was strong before I got there, and I think it's still strong now. A lot of that is contributed to my dedicated staff. I will say hands down, I have some very dedicated teachers, assistants, and staff in whole. They chip in wherever needed. So another strength that we have, if you look at the bottom of our page, that is our MBE report card for this year, for 24-25. If you look across there, you can look at the math, and if you look, you can see we hold really strong there. Math proficiency, the math growth, and just the math growth in the bottom 25%. If you look below that, you will see our ELA, our English. We still have a strong proficiency. We're still pretty strong in growth, but if you look at our bottom 25%, that's where we're needing some push, some more help. So those are some of our strengths, and I'd like to talk to you about some of our challenges. So our challenges, by looking at this, you can see from last year's state test that writing, ELA, that's where we struggle, okay? If you turn over, and if you've got good eyes and you need to borrow my readers, I'll let you borrow them. But if you look at our data, you'll see ELA on one side and you'll see math. ELA on the left. If you look to the far, you'll see B1, B1, 24, 25, 25, 26. That's our benchmarks from last year's first benchmark, this year's first benchmark. If you'll look, you'll see from first grade, if you follow it down, that we're not doing terribly in ELA, but that is where we're weaker. And it shows in data from last year to this year. If you go across the page and you look at math, you'll see that we are steadily making gains in math. We've done really well. They're holding strong even where we were a little bit low. They're showing a good bit of growth this year, and this is just off our benchmark 1 for this school year. So saying that to say this, we know where we're stronger at, we know where we're weaker at, so what are we gonna do? Our plan of action. So using the data, our teachers are asked to look at the benchmarks. Anything that a standard shows 50% or below, we are to reteach it, to revisit it, see what we're missing, dig a little deeper. Small group, tier 3 if needed, but saying that to say this, in our 3rd and 4th grade, there is 25.3% with an identified learning difficulty. So that in itself is a challenge for ELA. So we're aware of that and we are addressing it. Another thing that we saw, Mr. G pointed this out last year, but I really looked really closer this year. We had 26 students that got 0 points on the writing part of our state test. 26 kids, 0 points. So that's points we left on the table, so that's where we're striving to gain some points this year. We want some writing points. We want as many points in just the questions too, but we know we left points out there. So that's where we're striving to pick up some. So with that saying this, we know where we're strong, we know where we're weak. Using data, we're addressing it, we're looking at it. I brought with me some writing samples from K-5 all the way up through 4th grade. I've asked them to journal daily. If you're not journaling daily, I need to be in journal at least weekly, because it's hard for kids to put their words on paper. It really is. You know, we have text messages, we have predictive text, they don't have to spell it right, you know what slang they're using, and you just read it and move on. But when they have to really start putting it on paper, it's a challenge for them. So we are addressing that by just trying to integrate it every day, weekly. So that is some strengths and weaknesses in our school, and if you got any questions, please ask me. If you'd like